what is the difference between marketing and branding, and how does each complement the other? So in a recent podcast I had with Amber Gaige, we talked a lot about marketing, and she went in there and she gave us a lot of points to how do you make your marketing effective. One of the big things she talked about was you have to be very clear in who you're talking to in your marketing. I know that's always a struggle for most businesses. That's always been a struggle in my business. It's about who am I talking to, right? When you're putting the marketing content out there, more so it's not about talking about me and what we can do. It's like, how are you solving that problem for your end client, right? The person you're trying to reach. How do you get out there? She says a really good, tool to use in marketing is sharing stories, right? See how you can go through and make it a story and make it more engaging. So we're going to put a link below in this podcast right here that we talk about. We had another podcast where we talked about story selling with another guest, and it really goes into the in-depth about sharing your story and how do you go out about and do that. And she says about when you're going out there in marketing, and this, dovetails a little bit into branding, is that you want to create a brand like, who are you as a person? What are you trying to say? What's your messaging, right? What's your voice? So I'll share my personal story. My wife is very much out there. She's very much on social media. I never really was. And for many years, I really wouldn't pay attention, and I wouldn't say that much. And she would encourage me to do it. And she would come back and say, hey, why aren't you going out there? Why aren't you, telling people, I know you have all these thoughts and ideas. Why don't you share that voice? And I was saying, well, I'm not really sure what I have to say. I wasn't really feeling what my voice, what it wanted to be. I'm a financial advisor, right? There's just inundated with everybody talking about do this with your money, do that with your money. So that didn't feel right. But as I started to think about it more and I started practicing a little bit of these early podcasts, what really stood out to me was, hey, what I really like and where I really have all this experience is working with people at different stages and helping grow in their business. I like talking about their business. I like learning about their business. So I said, oh, why doesn't my voice become talking to other entrepreneurs like me that are out there that are struggling with these same things? Why don't I give them my thoughts and ideas? Why don't I bring in other thoughts and ideas from other people to help them out there, to help them grow their business? And that's really what my voice and what this podcast, why we have it called the Do It For Yourself podcast, is really all about. And another thing that Amber talked about, which goes into one of our very recent podcasts also, is she talks about writing a book, right? Writing a book, but this is different than when we had Trisha Brady. Trisha was talking about trying to give that advice to say, hey, this is where, the clients that I work with, this is what they should do. Amber kind of talks about, well, your marketing, what's your book? What's your story, right? Go in there, give your story, talk about that, and then maybe within your story, see if you can communicate to the people you're trying to reach. I've thought about writing this book for a long time. I haven't gotten there. It's still on my to-do list. But really, if you are interested in moving forward and writing this book, what I have seen and what I've heard people talk about is that, going out there and using these AI tools, like here I am talking to the machine, Zoom's recording everything, right? You don't have to physically write it and type it out. You can speak it out, you can give it to AI, and it can start bringing your thoughts and ideas and everything together. So when you're out there thinking about these two things, right, marketing and branding, what's your personal brand, and also what's your business brand? And I think always remember that those don't have to be the same, right? You can have your personal brand, Mary Jo, what she wants to talk about. This is what she talks about. And then your business brand could be something different. Hey, what's the promise to clients out there of your business brand, what you're going to do to them? Oh, yeah, for them. And oh, yeah, by the way, Steve or Mary Jo is involved in that business. So I understand that I'm getting their brand and that person along with it also. It's also very important to get the notion out there of who the person is behind the business brand. So we hope you find it helpful. And as always, you have any questions, reach out.